Claude Design has had some massive upgrades recently that make it a very powerful platform. A big one has been all the new templates they just added. Everything from mobile app design to 3D objects. And I actually didn't cover Claude Design when it first came out because another issue they had was usage limits. Even though the product was cool, I didn't want to send people to a site they could barely use. But that's been fixed as well. So I want to cover the whole platform, how to get the most out of every feature, and show one really surprising use case that I've implemented into every one of my recent videos, including what you're watching right now. I created all of these motion graphics in Claude Design with just a prompt. To open up Claude Design, you can find it on the side panel in Claude. Just go down to Design and it will take you right there. Same thing if you're in the desktop app. Or you can go straight to claude.ai/design. And if you have any paid Claude account, you already have access to this. And the usage is now bundled into your existing Claude usage credits. So you can get a lot of use out of it now. You used to run out crazy fast. Once you're in, you'll see you can just ask for something in the prompt box, or most of the time you'll work from templates. They used to have 5 template options, but now they have massively expanded on what's available here. These built-in templates provide a structured starting point for different kinds of creative work. So I'll show a quick generation I did with each one so you can get an idea of what they are. Although I'm sure these will change over time, so they might be slightly different options by the time you're watching this video. And these were just tests using random prompts. I'll show actually using some of these in practice in a minute. I used mobile app design for a meditation app, slides for a deck about the future of food, document for an annual report, wireframe of a mobile wellness app, animation showing a prompt then some cards popping up. I'll do a lot more animation examples later that I've actually been using in my videos. This feature is awesome. I've got a UI mockup of a music production tool, a resume for a product designer, 3D object. This one was really cool and different from the rest, so I did a few. Tested out some sliders with a customizable table lamp, isometric coffee shop interior, and what's really cool is you can export these in different 3D asset formats. Then moving down the line, I did a research report about the path to AGI, HTML email for a product launch email for a skincare brand, color plus type pairing for a modern ceramics brand, diagram for a creative workflow, and a flyer for an independent film festival. Hopefully that gets across how diverse the types of designs you can make in here from templates are now. Much more than the 5 they had before. And those templates are great, but you probably noticed as I went through those, Claude has some specific design tendencies it gravitates towards. You need to steer it away from that, otherwise it will look just like what anyone else makes in here. The best way to do that is with design systems. This is your brand's style and voice guidelines, so it will create in your brand's style every time across projects. You can just drop reference images right in here and guide it through prompting, but most people will need more than one thing in a given style. So it's usually best to create the design system first. So I'll create one, and then I'll generate each of those templates again for the same brand using that design system. Then you can see how big of a difference it makes. You can create one with this plus button, or you can also see all your design systems on this tab and click Create Design System for a new one. I'm going to create here. You could also create using Claude Code. Starting with the name, I'm going to create one for this Future Fuel brand, an energy drink I made from our logo. Maybe we need to bring in some new revenue streams. Then you can upload information you already have through GitHub, Figma, or by uploading your own assets, images, logos, website, etc. And you can add additional notes. I'll actually just upload this one image and let it extract what it can from there. And just a short note. We create energy drinks to help fuel up for the AI era. I'm keeping it simple. Just from that, I'll click Continue to Generation. If this is your own real brand, you'll have more to guide it with. Then in a few minutes, I have that Future Fuel design system back. There's tons of information in here, what the brand is, the voice and tone, iconography, idea for a landing page, buttons, the hero product, a monogram and word mark, all these color palettes, what style to use in slides, what the badges and buttons should look like, just all of it. Then I can modify anything I want to change, like this word mark it generated. I could upload one with the actual logo. And then I could, of course, change any part of these descriptions or anything at all throughout this, either manually or ask Claude for changes. But this works. The design system is all set. I'll go make something with it. I'll start with a UI mockup. Then I'll select the design system I just made. I'll say, create the Future Fuel website with pages for the homepage, shop, ingredients, and about us. Just a simple prompt. The design system has all the context to guide it from there. And it's almost always going to come back with some questions at the beginning. How should the 4 pages be structured? One file with top nav. How interactive? Decide for me. Write the origin story. Write out all of the copy and one build, but 2 to 3 options for the home hero. Then I'll send it off and it will build all of that. I'm using simple prompts throughout most of this. For a lot of use cases, you'll want to get more specific to the task. So we created a free guide called Claude Design in Action, 7 use cases to try today. Each use case has an optimized prompt to get you the exact result you're looking for much faster. Tailored pitch decks, landing page from competitor screenshots, social media templates, and more. These will give you the right prompt on the first try and save you a lot of iteration time, with every step from prompt to export. That's a free guide at the link in the description. The build is done, and this looks great already. Right up top, it has tweaks for the different hero variants because I asked it to do that when answering those questions. B is all right. C I like a lot, but I'll go with A. Looks like it also has a toggle for this announcements bar. Then going through, there's some nice hover states. And scroll down, we've got the different flavors. This site is looking great. I'll see if this actually takes me to the shop page. Yep, it does. Perfect. I'll just try out some more buttons. Select a few, hit add to cart. There it is. Then I'll open that up. There they are in the cart with the total. A quick check on the other pages. We have the ingredients. This is a nice layout. I like how you can select them each here. Awesome. Then the about page. Not gonna read through that. Looks great. So that was really solid on the first shot. Now, if you use Claude Code, you might be thinking, couldn't I just do this in there? You could, but what makes design so helpful for building something like this is how easy and quick it is to make changes. You can do simple edits without having to send off a prompt and wait for code to build it out and come back. Well, for example, if I want this to be on the next line, I can just make that change. And if I select something, I can make all sorts of inline edits. Can change any words, also the size, font, spacing, all of that I can do really precisely, get it just how I want, and then click save and it's committed. It's much more tedious if I wanted to make those edits in Claude Code. And I can push this to code once I'm done if I want. I'll show that in a minute. But there's other ways to make changes in here too. I can select any area and annotate. I could draw on it anywhere. You have all these options for follow-up edits that are really convenient. Another thing that can be really useful if you can't think of what you might want to change or just need some inspiration, that tweaks panel I showed where it had the different hero layouts and banner toggle. Sometimes I like to just ask for more tweaks to play with. Add a bunch of different tweaks for me to experiment with across the site. You could of course be more precise than that, but I'll send that off. Then it comes back with a bunch of different customization options I can test out and see what I like or draw inspiration from. Colors, shapes, sizes, all sorts of tweaks. I really like to do that to see if there might be something I haven't thought of. Beyond that, you can do just all sorts of stuff in here. Maybe I want this hero image to be replaced with a looping video. So really quick, I had ChatGPT generate a wider image with some negative space on the left. Then I animated it with VO, and I've got this simple looping animation. Maybe that'll add a nice vibe to the site. So I'll drop the video in, then ask Claude to replace the hero background with that video. And pretty quick, here it is. It left this little button here, so I'll just get rid of that. And now that looks pretty good. I'd probably want to resize this so you can see the full can, but you get the idea. There's tons of unique ways you can get creative with the site, and design is capable enough to handle a lot of it. Then when you want to move into an even more powerful platform, you can send this right over to code. And you will need to do that for most sites you're going to put into production. I would need to connect a database to save customer data, also build in Stripe or something to take payments. All of that stuff I would do in Claude Code. To do that, you just come up to share, then there's multiple options for exporting. I will send it to Claude Code. Then you can just copy this prompt and paste it into Claude Code, or personally, I prefer to download the zip file, open it, then use that as Code's project to work in and kick it off that way. Either way works, then you have the project quickly iterated upon in design, moved into the full power of Code to build toward deployment. Next, I want to show the slides feature. This one is pretty straightforward and something you can do in other tools, but it's nice in here because we have that design system, so we can use that across all the different formats. I've got them selected now. I'll ask for a presentation about how our energy drink solves the problem of a lack of energy to keep up with AI. Then I need to answer the list of questions and send it off. Here's the result. It looks like a solid presentation, and it followed the design system really well. Feels very on brand with the website. And you can make all those same types of inline edits with colors, size, font, all of that. You could also annotate and draw like before. And there's also that same tweaks feature. You could ask for a list of tweaks to mess around with. Has your speaking notes. So all in all, a solid presentation. I could come up and share this as an editable PowerPoint or a PDF, or what I really like, since I have a Canva connector set up, I can export it straight there for further edits. Those slides look great. I'm going to exit out. Now we'll show the document option as well. Another one I'm going to go through quickly. So using that same design system, I'll do a retail invoice template. You can make all sorts of on-brand documents with this. It's really convenient to make contracts, legal forms, invoices, anything like that. Then you just answer a few quick questions again and send it. And now that is a great looking invoice. It's completely on brand. And it's good as long as I only need it as an electronic invoice and never need to print it. Then of course there's all the same editing features. This is similar to the slides feature, so I'll just leave it there and go back out. And most of these other templates work very similarly with the ability to design and edit easily like this. Mobile app design, the wireframe, resume, research, HTML email, flyer. You can create these on-brand assets across all the different formats, except 3D is a bit different. I tried having it create the can from the image. That didn't work great. So 3D is kind of its own feature. It is amazing though. Animation is another one that feels like its own separate type of feature. It's also the feature I've been using the most personally, by far. I'll start with a simple one using this design system for the first demo. Then I'll show some that I've actually been using in production. Create a nice logo reveal animation that fits the brand. It didn't have any questions for this one, and this is what came back. And that is a great logo reveal. Honestly, that looks awesome. Definitely more to it than I was expecting from that prompt. So that's cool. Of course, I could ask for a logo reveal like this in any image to video tool and get something that looks good. How I've been using this that's so helpful is for videos, especially my intros. The big chunks of my videos usually have a screen recording and don't need much editing, but usually the intro and then kind of sprinkled throughout, there will be sections where I'm just explaining something and need a visualization. And that's where I want some motion graphics. Design is really good at creating those from just a simple prompt and a transcript. Then it comes back perfectly synced up with what I'm saying in the video. I'll kick off an example using the intro to my last video I did about ChatGPT work. I'll use a design system I have for ChatGPT. And then I'm still experimenting with different ways to prompt, but I've been getting just as good of results keeping it fairly simple as I was with longer instructions. I'll keep doing more testing and probably end up making a full video just on this feature eventually. But now I need to input the transcript with timestamps. A really easy way to get that is to just drop the video into Gemini and ask for it. Then it comes back with it and a button to copy it in just a click. Then I paste that in and this is good to go. And it has one question for me about where I want it to leave space for the talking head. I'll say basically it can choose as long as there's space somewhere. While I'm waiting, I'll show some other examples. Here's one where I was trying to get the idea of what I wanted across to my editor. So I had an image from GPT Image 2 of what I wanted, then dropped it into here and described how I wanted to animate it and got this. Then I passed that off to my editor and he created this one for the video. It was a really fast way to get the idea across, but doing that made me realize I could probably get it to a point where I can just use the animations as is. So here's one I used fully in a video. And this, makes more sense with my talking head over it. I'll show it edited in just a second. Like this one right here is amazing to me to be able to do. So here's what it looked like in the video where I added the talking head over it. Most people repeat themselves over and over in Claude, typing out the same instructions and adding the same context. Skills fix that. Write it once and Claude remembers it forever. In this video, I'll show you what skills are, how to use the pre-built skills, how to stay safe using external skills, and how to build and refine your own, which is the biggest unlock in all of Claude. Now, I've been testing some other stuff. It did a pretty good job on this map animation. A nice zoom and highlighting. When the Eiffel Tower pops up, that's not as great and actually took a lot of back and forth to even get it looking this good. But the map animation part was all from a text prompt. I ended up dropping in some images of the Eiffel Tower to get that part closer. Everything else was from scratch without a reference. So that's good, but you can get good results in other tools too. For animated, explainer videos or other kinds of faceless YouTube style content, this is not really the tool for that. But specifically for the type of motion graphics I personally use in videos, the type that go in talking head content like this, you can get great results that are fully usable. And it's just so easy to make edits with natural language. That ChatGPT work animation is done now. I'd of course be talking throughout this, and it left the space for me on the right. And these look really good. Honestly, I don't even know what I would ask for it to edit. Maybe right here. In the script, I'm referring to most ChatGPT users, so I could say at around 30 seconds, the animation should turn most of the person icons green since it's referring to most users. Also, the arrow is slightly overlapping the icons underneath. Move it just a bit to the right. And I'll drop in a screenshot so it knows what I'm referring to there. Then that came back and it is perfect now. And from there, I can just click share and export this as an MP4 and drop it right into my editing platform. As just one more example, I sent that same prompt for a more full screen animation and it looked like this. You might not want that space on the side for the talking head like I had. Again, it looks amazing. This type of stuff takes so long to do manually. It has been saving me a huge amount of time. Again, I'll try making a full video on this process soon. I'm experimenting just a little more first, but hit subscribe so you see that when it's posted. And that is all of Claude Design. It's an awesome platform, especially with the relaxed usage limits, the easy connection to Claude Code, and a streamlined way to create consistent on-brand designs across all the new different formats. Hopefully that helps you get started with it, and I'll see you in the next one.